Hi, Kyoto listeners. Let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. Don't forget to join me on X or Instagram. This will be broadcast on video on YouTube, but I'll also do the audio if you're listening that way on the pod stream. Well, here we are at the National Sumo Stadium in Ryogoku. It's the Kokugikan in Tokyo. It's the end of day 12. It's been a fascinating day of sumo. So I know we've missed a few days due to my travel from Australia to Japan. So let's catch up on where we are at the Aki Basho for 2025. Day 10 saw Yokozuna Hoshoryu facing Wakamoto Haru, winning by Sukiyanage. Hoshoryu had Wakamoto Haru on the belt, which is always a little bit fraught, but quick direction change saw the Yokozuna pull Wakamoto Haru around and over Sukiyanage beltless arm throw. Day 11, Hoshoryu faced Kirishima. There's a little bit of a rivalry going there. These matches, they just increase in difficulty for Hoshoryu. Again, a direction change for Hoshoryu while he was on the belt. Saw him pull Kirishima over Watanabe at the bails. A good rivalry going on. Day 10 saw Onosato deflect Kuroshoho, drive him out for an easy win there. Day 11, Takayasu gave Onosato some pretty good Sapari thrusting to absorb. Onosato started to retreat. That was dangerous, but he got a deflecting hit under the shoulder of Takayasu, which put him off to the side. This gave the Yokozuna the opportunity to drive Takayasu out. Tsukadashi, 10-1 for Onosato after day 11. Day 10, Takanosho took on fellow chaser Shodai. A fairly simple Oshi win over Shodai to pull one ahead of him. No real defence from Shodai there. Otherwise, a pretty good tournament still in the run for him as well. Day 11, Ryuden faced Takanosho, tried some Sapari thrusting before he tried a Hatake Komi pull down on Takanosho, but that failed. Takanosho took the opportunity to grab Ryuden, slap him down instead. Hatake Komi, and Takanosho moves to 9 wins on day 11. Shodai, he faced Ayanishiki on day 11. Ayanishiki gave a lowish touchy-eye as Shodai absorbed the hit. Ayanishiki tried to bury his head into Shodai's chest, but Shodai got hold of one arm, lifted Ayanishiki's centre of gravity. He has the arm as he pushed Ayanishiki back to the bails. Now, Ayanishiki escaped, but he was just a bit too upright. He was going backwards to the bails. He resisted for a moment. Shodai forced him over. They both went down, and Ayanishiki, he tried to delay that foot, but it was all too late. Now, this is an interesting fight because I always say you learn more from your losses than you do your wins sometimes. Day 12 is another day for him. I just didn't see how Ayanishiki didn't quite get the momentum there. He wasn't that upright. It wasn't that bad of a centre of gravity lift, but Shodai had the momentum and took the win. That puts Shodai on day 11 on 9 wins. Ayanishiki, he fell to 8 wins and a few behind the leaders there. Ryuden, he fell out of contention a bit with losses on day 10 and 11 to Meisei and Takanosho, so he was down a bit. Day 12 tonight at the Kokugikan. It was a really good night to be watching sumo live. I was up in the bleacher seats right at the back, but it was still a fantastic view. Ryuden, he faced Shodai. Big strength battle and bested him. Good touchy eyes. Ryuden took the hit and Ryuden got turned. He tried to force the issue, but Ryuden was in control. They struggled, and as the fight went on, Ryuden improves that advantage. Ryuden has great endurance, great strength. Eventually, Ryuden got Shodai going to the bails where he forced him over. Yorakiri, 8 wins for Ryuden and well out of it, 9 for Shodai and 2 behind the leaders. Tomokaze, he ended up in a big bear hug with Juryo man Koto Eho, who was up for the night. Koto Eho worked him back and over the bails. Yorakiri, they both wrapped each other up, and just Koto Eho had the momentum there. 7 wins for Tomokaze, and he's fallen out of contention entirely. He's looking for that last win for his Kachikoshi. Some excellent sumo by Fujinokawa to outpower the very large Shononumi. To see Shononumi live, he is a very large man. Fujinokawa, much smaller, and simply overpowered him. 5 wins for Fujinokawa, but I feels like he should have more. He's fought well this tournament. 6 for Shononumi. Midori Fuji, he's on wood with 7 losses, only 1 away from Makikoshi. He got a decent meet and move. I wouldn't call it a hanker. Pull down on Asa Koryu pretty fast for his 5th win. He cannot afford another loss. Daisho, he beat up on Ichi Yamamoto. Poor Ichi tried to go thrusting with Daisho, but Daisho gave a hit, then stepped aside, yanked Ichi Yamamoto down. Hiki Itoshi for his 6th win. Things are looking up for the former Sekiwake, but not so good for Ichi Yamamoto at only 3 wins. Ouch, not a great tournament. Great throw by Tsurunumi, who got a win over Kusano. They both had the belt, and as Kusano was going over, tried to put his leg up to pull Tsurunumi, but he missed completely. Tsurunumi had that one, a Watadashinage open belt throw for his Kachikoshi, 8 wins there. Kusano only on 6 wins. Ura got his Kachikoshi tonight over the flying monkey Tobizaru. It was a bit of a half tachiai as they tried to keep each other at arm's length. Tobizaru kept pushing his arms. Ura was very restrained, just reacting to Tobi's arms. Tobizaru went low on Ura, and Ura just punched him down in the dirt. It was kind of as Ura pushed Tobizaru back, Tobizaru's feet just slightly slipped out from under him, and Ura got the chance to pull him down. Oho got a lesson in how Wakamoto Haru wins matches off that defensive belt position. Watanabe was the call. Wakamoto Haru got driven back to the bales, set his Yotsu position on the belt, drove Ura back and over the bales and down. Only 1 win away for Kachikoshi for Wakamoto Haru. 7 also for Oho. He should get that fairly easily. Komusubi Takayasu, he faced the fast and hard charging Hiradumi. Good strong tachiai as they started to get into the thrusting. Furious thrusting battle ensued as Hiradumi forced Takayasu back to the bales, but Takayasu, he returned fire, had Hiradumi going to the bales until he delivered a death blow, and Hiradumi just went down hard, spinning onto the bales. 6 for Hiradumi. Terrible tournament for Takayasu at only 4 wins. Wakataka Kage, he improved his dismal 2nd week with a fairly easy Takikomi on Onakatsu, got the belt, stepped back fast, yanked him down. 2 more wins for Wakataka Kage to get his Kachikoshi. Ozeki is obviously off the table now. He's got to go back to that drawing board. Onosato tomorrow night for Wakataka Kage, day 13. I have confidence that it will be a difficult fight for Wakataka Kage. Ozeki Kotozakura faced Takanosho. Kotozakura, he came out hard and fired Takanosho back to the bales. Takanosho, he defended hard. Kotozakura couldn't finish him off. He tried hard. Takanosho fired back at Kotozakura, oshed him back and across and over the bales. Not a great loss for the Ozeki there. Sekiwake Kirishima, he faced the Yokozuna Onosato for the Yokozuna to stay in touch with Hoshoryu. Good tachiai as Kirishima tried hard to get inside on the belt, but Onosato kept him off and thrust him back and over. Pretty standard Onosato win, but nothing standard about the Yokozuna. 11 wins. Yokozuna Hoshoryu faced Aonishiki last time they met. Aonishiki got a Kimboshi off the Yokozuna because he was in Megashira. Tonight he's in the Sanyaku at Komusubi, so even with a win he doesn't get the Kimboshi. If you look at the footwork of that fight back in July and compare it to tonight, you would see there's a lot of similarities in how Hoshoryu lost, and yes, he did. It was a good tachiai as they thrust. Hoshoryu tried to pull Aonishiki's arm through. That just put Hoshoryu back on the bales because Aonishiki followed him around, didn't quite get the pull-through thrust, and he followed the Yokozuna there. Hoshoryu then pushes off the bales, but Aonishiki had the belt and pulled him across the dojo, followed him over there, a strong left rear belt grip as Hoshoryu was moving fast and almost going in a circle as Aonishiki stayed latched. Hoshoryu tried to pull Aonishiki over with a leg trip, but Aonishiki used the belt and his momentum to pull Hoshoryu around while he had the better leg position, and Hoshoryu's feet were nowhere. He went down backwards on the leg. Kirikaeshi backwards twisting leg trip for Aonishiki. So Hoshoryu, he falls back into the clutches of Onosato. Both of them are on 11 wins. Day 13, however, Onosato has a hard fight with Wakataka Kage. Korizukura has the fight with the other Yokozuna, Hoshoryu. Shodai and Kirishima, Takayasu and Wakamoto Haru, Takanosho and Aonishiki. That will be a good fight, that last one. I think it's either Hoshoryu or Onosato to win the Yusho, but Takanosho, he's just behind on 10 wins, one behind. Aonishiki on 9 wins. Look, he'd have to have a pretty good final couple of days with a hard charge in the Sanyaku, and both the Yokozunas would need to fail. Shodai also, and rank outsider Ryuden also on 9 wins. That loss just opened up the field a little bit. So that's it for day 12 at Ryogoku. It should be an interesting tournament. It's anyone's to win. Join me again, Hakioi. Let's learn sumo.